What's up, guys? Welcome back to the final episode of Season 1 of Visions of the Force. My name is Kyle, your host. Welcome to Project Potter, guys. This is our Star Wars Visions in Review, and this is going to wrap Season 1. I think we're getting a Season 2, but if not, guys, this will be the series finale. Hopefully not. I hope we get more of this action. I'm sure we will. But if you haven't seen the show before, guys, what we do is a quick recap, a favorite character, a favorite aspect, a score out of 10. And then that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoy the content. Again, welcome to the channel, and go check out the other content, of course. And here we go. So this one, guys, episode 9. This is a weird placement. I really feel like this should have been swapped with probably last week's episode, or just put somewhere in the middle, because this doesn't really feel like a grand finale sort of episode. I don't know why they kind of put this one last, but either way, guys, this is kind of a short story about, this one's about 13 minutes, I think, so this is much shorter than the last episode, which was about 22. This one is about a Jedi, or sort of a mysterious Jedi, who's having these bad visions, and he's like helping a princess go. There's two like kind of goofy characters that like we think are useless, and Jedi says, why are they coming with us? But then she's like, well, actually, you know, I've been exiled, and she's like, we're trying to get back to the palace, but she's like, we have to go the back roads because Tweedledee and Tweedledum over here, they have all the technology, and they like actually pull up the thing and shows the back routes, and she's like, they're essential to this plan. And he's like, okay. He's like, they better not get in the way. And so they ride like these like llamas or these emus through this canyon, and then they're going through like this rough weather. There's like droids or something coming at them. The Jedi kind of easily takes them down, and then they're making their way. They eventually end up back at the palace, and there's like this evil Sith, I guess, with like this giant brute of a woman with a sword, like a lightsaber Jedi sword. And I'm like, all right, I like that we have lightsabers through all these different eras, but it's getting a little old that they're like, guess what? This is a sword lightsaber, and it's like, okay, it was cool a couple times, but now we're overusing it. So I wish there was a little more diversity in terms of like the animation. But either way, guys, there's talk of like predetermined events happening, and the Jedi is like, no, he's like, you know, nothing is predetermined, and he's like having these visions, and he's like almost passing out, or he is passing out, and then they like take over for him, and they bring him to the palace, and at the very end, it finds out that he like kills the soldiers or whatever, because she's like, join me and we will save the galaxy or whatever. Similar to like Vader, and then he ends up killing like the princess or his daughter or something. I don't know. It was like some girl that I didn't really know. It's like his vision is blurry the whole time, and it shows her like dying over and over. He has a quick vision with like his father or someone, and he's like, I can't help you this time. And kind of a weird sequence, but basically there's this like hint that there's like this recurring loop happening. And so he kills the daughter, and he's like, oh my god, what have I done? And then she says, like, you know, you will join me, you will join the dark side. It's meant to be. And he's like, no, I will not. And he like he goes down there and he kills her, and he's like, what have I done? And she's like, look, we can save her together. Because he's like, oh, she's dead or whatever. And the Lord is like, nah, dude, watch this. And then she like takes his hand, and they like force heal her or resurrect her from the dead. And she's like, oh my god, what have you done? Or what'd you do? And he's like, I did what had to be done. And he like, there's like bodies around him, and he puts the hood on, dude, and he goes in there. And so he did have to join the Dark Force to save the love of his life, or whoever this chick is, whether it's the princess or his daughter or some girl, I don't know. But she's like, what did you do? And he's like, what had to be done? And he puts on his hood like a Sith Lord, and he goes there, and they escape. And yeah, it's a pretty cool ending. Okay, guys, favorite aspect of this episode has got to be the idea that these events are predetermined, that this is sort of like a time loop, and we don't know how long this is happening, but in order to sort of save this woman, he has to end up killing these soldiers, because the only way he can beat them is through the power of the dark side. And or he can beat them normally, and he tries to like be good and beat them, but then he ends up like, I don't know if he's being mind controlled, he ends up killing the woman. And then he realizes that the only way to bring her back is to use the power of the dark side for resurrection. It's kind of loose, but that's how I interpret it. And so I really love time loop stuff and predetermined events. I really love all that stuff where it's like, you know, if you do this thing, then this will branch off. So it's sort of like the MCU, but this is a different sense of like, I think it's like a Groundhog's Day scenario where like it's the impression that he's been through this many, many times, and he's trying to find other ways to get through it without killing her, but he always does it, whether he's being controlled or pushed in a certain direction. And so I really love that. Like, he's like, this had to be done, and he's just like, all right, I get it. Like, I have to move on and keep doing this or whatever. So, yeah, the idea of a time loop, I think, or predetermined events, I think, is my favorite part about this episode. So my favorite character for this one has got to be the main Jedi guy. He was the most interesting. I didn't think there were really too many interesting characters on this one. I love how we have like a haunted past where he's having like these visions that are like so powerful they're like having him pass out. And then I love the idea at the end where he has to like kill someone he loves and then bring them back using the power of the dark side. So his character I think was the most compelling, even though it was really just like him, the princess, and then the two derpy people, and then the powerful like brute woman who didn't really do anything. She just kind of stood there and she's like, you're going to join the dark side. I think he was, I guess, the most compelling character out of the bunch here. Okay, guys, that brings us to a score. This one I wasn't crazy about. I didn't hate the episode, but I certainly didn't love it. I don't know if how they intended it is how I interpreted it, but I like time loop stuff and I like predetermined stuff, as I mentioned before. So I like this a little bit more at the end because of what I took away from it, but I can totally see someone else taking something different away from it and not being as cool. This is an 8.1 for me. It's okay. I mean, it wasn't like super impressive visually. The storytelling wasn't crazy. It was just kind of like get from point A to point B, and then there's a small twist there, and then it's like I think this has to happen over and over, and this is like a Groundhog's Day, but I'm not really sure. So I didn't love this one as much as some of the past episodes, and I think having it as a season finale is really weird. And if this was in the middle of the season, I think I would have liked it more probably, and then there would have been better things to come. But considering we're coming off the high of the last episode with Lop and Ocho, I thought that should have been the finale, and then this one was kind of a weird place. But yeah, just an okay episode, I think. Alright guys, well that is it. That's it for Visions of the Force Season 1. Hopefully there will be Season 2, but I'm sure it won't be for at least a couple of years, maybe a year, who knows, I don't know. Animation I'm sure takes a lot longer, but I'm assuming that they'll see the popularity of this series, and depending on how people watch it, which I'm sure a bunch of Disney Plus people are. There's a lot of Star Wars fans out there, guys. They will push for Season 2, and I'm sure they'll make a Season 2, but we'll kind of see where that goes. But for now, guys, thank you for joining me on this journey. Honestly, overall, as a package for Season 1, Star Wars Visions was amazing. Like, some of the best Star Wars content I've ever seen. So there was at least 4 or 5 episodes, I think, out of the 9, so about half or so, maybe even more than half, that were just, like, I could rewatch it anytime, and there were visual feasts and great storytelling and awesome and emotional and just really, really awesome. And I love that there were 7 different studios. This is I forget the name of the team, I'll put it in here. They're the ones who did my other least favorite episode with the boy, what's his name? Toby Kenobi, dude. They did that boy, the robot boy. So same studio came back for here. I like this one a little bit better, but those were 2 of the weakest ones, I think, in the series. And then Traeger did 2 of the episodes, but other than that, guys, it was 7 different studios, 9 total episodes. So almost every episode had a different style, and I loved. Part of my favorite thing of Visions was like episode starting, and like it's just so drastically different, where it's like, oh, they're doing shadows this way, or they're doing camera cuts this way, or they're doing a transition swipe, or they're doing like the animation running over here, they're going for more childish, or they're going for more mature. It was so awesome to see all these different styles, as opposed to getting like one studio that's doing it, where it's like, maybe if you don't like this style, then you're not gonna like the season. It's like, okay, well, if you don't like episode 1, I don't know how you couldn't like episode 1, but bad example, like let's say you love episode 1, then episode 2 comes along and it's like, oh, I don't like that one, then episode 3 bounces back. It's like, if you don't like one episode, the next one is probably going to be different. It's probably going to like expand to a broader audience. Or like, for me, there was like 4 or 5 that I loved, where it's like these styles were all similar, but they were just different enough, and you could tell I loved it. You could see the way they animate certain things and stuff like that. So yeah, Visions, a great experience. I cannot wait for Season 2, if we're going to get a Season 2. But for now, guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Thanks for joining me on this journey. And until next time, guys, may the Force be with you.